What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It's the Cenobites, back to raise a little hell, and this week, we take a look at what would happen if ICE was in charge of mall security. We're talking about Chopping Mall from 1986. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cenobites.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Don't play me.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Put your brothers into that door!
But sometimes that is better.
Welcome back to Oblivion, everyone. Once again, we are talking about Chopping Mall from 1986 today, directed by Jim Wynorski. Written by him and Steve Mitchell in like about a day, I think. You got anything on old wino here?
A day. A little bit. I guess he's known for these B movies, softcore porn, and exploitation films.
Doesn't have a whole lot in the mainstream. Rattle off a couple titles for me here.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot of these. Sorority House Massacre 2 sounded kind of familiar. Raptor, which is a direct-to-video creature feature with dinosaur attacks. For some reason, there's a lot of dinosaurs in here. Dino Croc versus Super Gator.
Super Gator sounds great.
Camel spiders. Piranaconda.
Shut it the fuck down. Piranaconda wins. Right there. That's all we need.
Well, the latest, Dino Gator. That's supposed to be this year, so.
Oh, God, okay. He's still at it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This guy's fucking doing his thing since 1986. Studios here, we've got Concord Pictures and Trinity Pictures, distributed by Concord as well. Rated R, because we got all kinds of gore in this, head explosions, boobies all over the place. I will mention, this is basically a Roger Corman joint, so if anyone's wondering where that kind of stuff's coming from. But we are in and fucking out of this thing, dude. Runtime of 77 minutes.
Perfect. I love it. I do.
Which originally was supposed to be about 20 minutes more. They cut a little bit of it when they re-released it, so we'll talk about that.
I'm feeling it, man. It doesn't really let up. There's not really any low points, hardly.
There are a couple of spots where it lags just a little bit, but not long at all before it jumps right back into it. Yeah, this movie fucking rips.
Straight into the point. I get a lot of Terminator vibes from this too, just because of the lasers and. It's
a couple of years later. We're doing robots. We're doing fire. We're doing all kinds of stuff. We are set in the Park Plaza Mall, which was. In the role of Park Plaza Mall in this movie is the Sherman Oaks Galleria and the Beverly Center, both malls in the greater LA area, and the Galleria actually was also hosted Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Commando, also both filmed there.
Okay, nice. Commando.
So our plot on this one, some mall employees have a sleepover sex party at the furniture store, like you do.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The mall goes on lockdown and then killbots engage, dude. It's electric. Getting into our cast a little here, we've got Kelly Maroney in the role of Allison Parks, and apparently she was cast because Wynorski wanted to date her.
All right.
How can I make that happen? Ooh, cast her in a film and make her get naked.
I was going to say, I could have picked a different chick.
Well, originally, this part was supposed to go to Dana Kimmel, but she didn't want to do anything sexual, so of course he's like, oh, well, fuck her then. She's out. Get Kelly.
Oh, wow.
But the funny thing is, Kelly doesn't actually do anything sexual in this movie. She kisses a guy.
I was going to say,
that's it.
Everybody else has their tits out.
Everybody else.
Yeah. As I said, okay.
We've got Tony O'Dell playing Ferdy Mizell, which is a funny... Ferdy? Really? Actually, my aunt... growing up, had a little stuffed frog named Ferdy. I loved that thing when I went over to stay at her house.
Guess his name's probably Ferdinand?
Maybe. Yeah, long version, Ferdinand, that makes sense, Ferdy. We've got a Cenobites favorite in here, Barbara Crampton playing Susie Lynn.
Yes.
Previously seen on the Cenobites and Reanimator and From Beyond.
Yes.
So she's a frequent flyer on this podcast.
Barb.
We've got Nick Siegel playing Greg Williams, Russell Todd as Rick Stanton, and Carrie Emerson as Linda Stanton. John Terlesky as Mike Brennan, who Steve Mitchell originally wanted as the hero of this movie, and Wynorski kind of overrode him on that. We've got Susie Slater as Leslie Todd. We've also got these two random characters in the beginning of this movie, like just making like peanut gallery comments in the crowd during the presentation.
Yeah.
That's Paul Bartel playing Paul Bland and Mary Warrenoff playing Mary Bland. Both of these actors were in the 1982 black comedy Eating Raoul, I guess. And that's kind of an in-joke in this movie to throw in a bunch of people from other movies or make references to other movies all over the place.
Oh, okay.
Especially if they have something to do with Roger Corman, because Julie was the producer. His wife Julie was the producer on this movie.
Okay.
Which, speaking of, we've also got Dick Miller.
Yeah.
Previously seen on the Cenobites and Terminator.
Right.
As the janitor Walter Paisley, and he was also previously in another Corman picture, A Bucket of Blood from 1959. And he would go on to do a bunch of great horror properties, including Gremlins, The Burbs, Demon Knight, and The Motherfucking Terminator.
Yep.
Jim Wynorski himself does the voice of the Killbots, basically just because they didn't have anybody better to do it, because this movie had no fucking budget. I wanted to point out my favorite little cameo actor in this movie, Robert Greenberg, playing the More Butter guy.
Oh.
He's credited as Big Eater in the credits.
Right.
We've also got Rodney Eastman, who's got a small role in the very beginning of this as a shoplifter at a record store. But he would go on to star as Joey in Nightmare on Elm Streets 3 and 4.
Oh, shit.
And then we've also got fucking Angus Scrimm, the tall man from fucking Phantasm.
Oh, shit.
As Dr. Carrington, but he was credited in this as Lawrence Guy. Cinematography, of course, by Tom Richmond. I think he did a fine job. There's an escalator shot that I'll point out that was pretty creative later.
Yeah, it was all pretty good, man.
Yeah, and we've also got, speaking of pretty fucking good, we've got the score here by Chuck Sereno. Killing shit. I love a good 80s synth score, and this one is an absolute banger.
Yeah, I agree.
Start to fucking finish. I couldn't get enough of this score. I like dropping taglines lately on these episodes, so we've got a few here. There's one that was, where shopping can cost you an arm and a leg, where they slash their prices and their customers. There's the Killbots catchphrase, have a nice day. There's also buy or die, half off is just the beginning. So a little bit of background on this. Yeah, Julie Corman, wife of Roger Corman, in case you were wondering why the movie's so sleazy, had a deal with Vestron Pictures to make a movie set in a shopping mall. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Wow.
So she needed a story, a script, a director, everything. So Jim Wynorski agreed to write a script if he could direct. Boom, baby. That's what we call a twofer in the biz. And Wynorski and his friend Steve Mitchell banged out a story in 24 hours that they wanted to present as a Phantom of the Mall sort of thing, but make it robots.
Nice.
And Wynorski was inspired by the 1954 film Gog, which, if you look, the design of the robots in both movies is very similar.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, you ready to get into this thing or what?
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about this fucking movie. I had such a good time with this. We open on a shot of a bunch of pretty jewelry in a case, speaking of ice, while some kind of spoopy music plays in the background. And oh shit, this mall is already getting robbed, dude. Much like Franklin Park in Toledo, this place is going to hell.
It's all funny that, you can tell how aged this movie is right off the bat because you're robbing the fucking mall.
Yeah, basically a cat burglary. Right. I don't understand, like, the mall angle either. Like, this dude steps out from the shadows looking like Kyle Reese, speaking of Terminator. And he smashes the glass in the case and takes this place for everything they got. And then he casually strolls out the front door, which the whole place is dark, being a mall after hours, but I feel like a mall is the last place you want to do a cat burglary.
That's what I'm saying.
I would definitely want somewhere that's easier and faster to get out of.
Yeah, it seems not like a good plan.
No.
But like I said, I don't know, 80s, the malls were a lot different, I feel like they're all dying now.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a little bit of a resurgence, but I guess we'll see where it goes.
Right.
As he walks away, though, a very intimidating-looking robot with tank tread starts to follow him, and by intimidating, I mean in a Johnny Five sort of way. But the robot calls out, "Stop right there and surrender your weapon." And this dude whips around and pulls his gun on it until he sees what it is, and he kind of starts laughing at it. And when he turns around, this dude looks just like Michael Keaton in, like, half Beetlejuice makeup. He's got the raccoon eyes going on.
Kind of dirty.
Yeah. This guy fires all 6 shots out of his revolver at it, but it does nothing. Man, what a waste. Now you have nothing for the actual police.
Right.
But this dude runs away, and I love the way they filmed this sequence because there are a bunch of close-ups of the dude running and the robot in pursuit which in the close-ups, it looks like the robot's hauling ass, but when they cut to a wide shot of it coming around a corner, it's going so fucking slow, dude. It's like your classic Michael or Jason, like some lumbering slow slasher coming after you.
Yeah, absolutely. All those shots are really crazy. Like you said, it looks like he's hauling ass.
It does.
Right, and then...
But yeah, in a close-up, going, horizontally past all these fucking stores and everything, of course it does.
Right.
But finally, much like a classic slasher, the robot somehow chases him down and fires a taser into his back, taking him down with a sound effect that sounds like you got a question wrong on a game show.
Yeah, we get a cut here that says the end, and turns out this is a video presentation.
Yeah, I was ready to fucking call it a day on this one too. The robot pulls up next to the dude and like he posts up, and then the music comes to a dramatic crescendo, and the graphic pops up on the screen like, "Hello, the end, a Securetronics production." And I'm like, "Damn, the movie's over already." Well, that was a waste of a minute and a half. But nope, yeah, JK. Just turns out this was a video presentation in front of a live audience at the mall about the new security system developed by Dr. Stan Simon, head of development for Securetronics Unlimited. A lady pops up on stage to introduce him, but before he's ready to take any questions, his first item of business is bringing a couple Vanna Whites on stage to unveil the mall's brand new security team. A bunch of robots.
Awesome, dude.
Oh, great. More Chinese technology taking good American jobs. These are the Protector 101 series robots.
Samsung, right?
Right. LG, I think. Simon says 1 week from tonight at closing, the Protectors, I think I had one of their albums as a kid, will begin their patrol of the mall. This is where we get our first glimpse of snarky-ass Paul and Mary, which begs the question, what happened to Peter? Mary leans over and says, "Paul, they look like the Three Stooges," which Paul disagrees with because he thinks the robot in the middle of the three identical robots has an unpleasantly ethnic quality. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. That's a nice observation.
Dr. Simon opens the floor to questions, and Rodney Dangerfield's hand shoots up. No, this is Dr. Carrington, Angus Scrimm's bit part we mentioned earlier. But he stands up and asks, "What are your machines there to do besides kill criminals?" Whoa. Who said anything about killing?
Yeah, no, not killing, neutralize.
Robots don't kill people. People with robots kill people. But Simon insists that they merely detain intruders until the computer on the roof can patch into the mall phone system and send an alarm to the police. And I love this lady on stage that introduced the doctor. Her whole job now is just to stand there pointing at things with a stick on their little visual aid. Paul doesn't buy it. He's like, "I don't know, that guy looked pretty dead to me." Buddy, you don't know the half of it.
Right.
But Stan tells him, "Nah, these robots are only equipped with sleep darts and tasers, but it shouldn't matter anyway because we've also installed security doors that seal at midnight and don't open until dawn. Therefore, the robots ideally won't be useful at all, just a gigantic waste of mall funds."
Dude, these doors are fucking ridiculous. It's like you're on a fucking spaceship.
Yeah, the airlock doors.
Right.
That's when Mary stands up and says, "Hey, these robots seem pretty fucking violent. They're called Protectors, but what are they here to protect?" And Stan says the robots do their work in the mall proper, not the stores themselves. So Paul has a fun idea here where he says, maybe we can use these in the restaurant. Get rid of people we don't like.
Hey, there you go.
Stan also points out the lasers on the robots can cut through any sort of debris. So what, like in the event of rescuing civilians trapped inside after an earthquake, I guess?
Sure.
Otherwise, what the fuck are we using that for? Why are you talking about debris? We're not talking about the mall crumbling. That's not ideal. They're here to protect it. But another guy stands up and says, all right, but what about the people working late? How are these things supposed to distinguish between the good guys and the bad guys?
Oh, that's simple. ID badges.
Yeah, I think this dude has a good fucking point. But Stan decides this is a good time for a demonstration, which he gets on an old-ass walkie-talkie and tells a guy chain-smoking in a control room to bring number 1 online. And this dude flips a switch, and the first robot fires up, and we can clearly tell by the very dim bulb in his Geordie LaForge-style eye panel. But the crowd all oohs and ahs for a minute as the robot moves forward. And I love the one dude's reaction. He just gives a real good, ho-ho! But the robot goes, may I see your identification badge, please? And Dr. Simon has to hold it up like an inch away from this thing's eye window and hold it there for like a really long time.
Yeah, it seemed pretty fucking ridiculous.
Early technology, man. It would drive someone from 2025 to the brink of self-exit, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But he goes, just a moment, it's scanning. Paul tells Mary it reminds him of her mother. It's the laser eyes, I think.
Oh, wow.
But we get the first use of the robot's catchphrase here.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
And he's like, there, see, it's totally foolproof. Okay, a couple things. First of all, what happens if an employee forgets to grab their ID or accidentally leaves it somewhere?
Oh, it's your ass.
I fucking guess it is. Kind of ruins that. And second, what about most of the people in the mall who are not in fact employees? This is going to create protest-worthy issues in no time, especially in LA. Take it from me. But is the idea here they only operate at night then when the mall is supposed to be empty?
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah.
Okay.
They're security after hours, not security during the day.
Okay, so do we still have like mall cops running around?
I don't know.
I didn't see any security while this mall was operational.
Well, back in the day, you didn't necessarily need a cop standing at the door like you do in 2025 to make sure people aren't stealing shit. Or
that's true. It wasn't until
fighting.
maybe like 10 years ago-ish that I first noticed like patrols of mall security officers roaming around.
And I mean, I guess there's always kind of been mall cops, but they're more necessary now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, to prevent the burglars pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
So Simon predicts none of this, though, and insists that the protectors will make Park Plaza the safest mall in the state. And Paul and Mary both roll their eyes in unison. He's like, trust me, absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Oh.
Famous last words before absolutely everything always goes wrong. The robot turns its head toward the camera, and right on cue, we get our title card, along with some of the sickest fucking 80s synth score I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Over our opening credits, we get a montage around the mall itself featuring glass elevators, a disgusting kid with chocolate ice cream all over his face. He's standing inside of this elevator as the doors open and a stampede of people crowds him in. And all of a sudden, this elevator is way past its fucking weight capacity. I promise you that. Seriously, I tried to count, and it's like 14 people in this elevator. Not including the kid, who they then show after everyone gets off, and his poor ice cream got smashed up against his shirt and the glass wall. This poor little fucker. But it shows off the shitty budget in this movie because you can see the chocolate streaks on the camera filter through every frame of this sequence.
Oh, shit.
But that's when we see Rodney Eastman trying to walk out of this record store, passing off the 15 or so records he's got stashed under his shirt as his, like, big old belly.
Fucking stealing vinyl.
Now, kids, if you don't know what a record is, they're these round discs with music etched into them, like the little grooves, and that's how mommies and daddies listened to music 800 years ago. But they come in these big square sleeves, so it basically looks like this dude is trying to smuggle a fucking cinder block out of this store.
Oh, yeah.
We cut to a couple intensely making out on a bench. Really looks like they need to get a room or a furniture store, one of the two.
The old couple's watching, dude.
Yeah, dude, we painted this old couple sitting on a bench next to him. Like, the old lady's watching, like, say, they got the right idea. And she smooches her husband. All right, pull the plug. This mall needs to shut down. Old people sex in public? Nope, that's where I draw the line. But there's a bit of a running gag of this lady carrying a tray full of drinks in this crowded food court, trying not to run into anyone, and she's having a bunch of close calls all over the place. But that's interrupted by the sleazy-looking, bald-headed pedophile coming up to abduct this child playing an arcade game.
Yeah, that's totally what I got, too. This dude's fucking creepy.
Oh, wait, no, he's just a single middle-aged guy pushing this little snot-nosed rugrat out of the way so he can play the game instead. I love having my expectations subverted. But this kid pulls him back away from it, and then a third guy jumps on, making good use of that quarter.
Yeah, wow.
IRL Bart Simpson rides by on a skateboard, and this is before they had rules against that sort of thing. He rides past all these sexy models wearing swimsuits and sashes. And at first I thought, oh, weird, we have a beauty pageant shit happening in 2 movies in a row. This one is being held at a mall, which somehow makes it even weirder than I Know What You Did Last Summer, which in my notes is abbreviated as Ickwiddles. But it's not a beauty pageant. This is a promotion for the mall. Because the sashes spaced out between 4 different women say, take the kids, that's on the first lady. The second one says, have a ball. Third says, the future is, and finally, at Park Plaza Mall.
Nice.
Okay, that's cute, but the first lady has to stay with the group the whole day. What do you mean, take the kids?
Yeah.
But also, wouldn't this promotion be more useful, I don't know, anywhere but inside the mall?
You would think so, yeah.
You don't need to promote here. These people are already inside it.
Good point.
But they ride down the escalator past a guy who can't handle all the sexiness and drops all the shit he's carrying and falls down on top of it, which thank God he did. Have you ever fallen down an upward moving escalator?
No.
Fuck, dude, takes all day, man. It happened to my baby mama once. She fell for like 45 minutes. It was great. So the lady carrying the drinks finally gets back to her table, and just before she sets the tray down, she not only drops it all over the place, but breaks the fucking table, too.
Yeah, damn.
Dude, the people at the Galleria must have been so pissed. They fuck up all kinds of shit in this mall.
She got bad luck.
We get a quick shot of a restaurant, I think potentially owned by Paul and Mary. Is this the one they were talking about putting robots in earlier?
Oh, maybe. I didn't even think about that.
No, I don't think so. I think this is Uncle Luigi's place. We'll talk about him in a minute. But this is the restaurant where Allison and Susie work, two of our main characters. Pretty cool decor in this place. There's a Slumber Party Massacre poster on the wall.
Yeah,
which is another Corman-funded sleaze fest. This dude burns his mouth on some coffee at a table. Again, before the days of warning labels and disclaimers, everybody. But the cook at this place starts yelling out to the waitresses because apparently he doesn't have enough to do, so he's challenging them like a WWE superstar. He's like, come on, is this all you got? Fucking give it to me.
Yeah. That's probably Luigi.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, hurry up.
But Allison rattles off an order. She's like, can I get 2 Uncle Luigi belly busters, a double anchovy pizza, and an order of garlic logs? Holy shit, who's that order from?
I think I know.
I thought an Uncle Luigi belly buster is what he did to me before he asked me to put the lotion on the skin and showed me his baby oil closet.
You.
Did he or didn't he? I can't quite remember. I'm guessing the cook is the titular Uncle Luigi, though, like we said, and even he raises his eyebrows at that order. Susie, played by our fave Barbara Crampton, gets her opening line here. She's like, that's so gross. What Mojave brain ordered that? Which I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Is that like, are you reducing indigenous people to cavemen? Is that what you're trying to say? That's pretty fucked up. That wouldn't fly in 2025. But I love that we can see this dude in the background as she says this, just making sweet, sweet mouth love to whatever in the hell he's shoving into his face. Passionately pushing it into his mouth and taking bite after sexy bite as the little bits of food are falling all over the place. It's fucking disgusting.
Fucking gross.
She's like, oh God, I should have known. That Orca Beach is here every night. All right, everything you're saying is shitty. Fucking stop, dude. If this guy wasn't so aggressively, like intentionally fat, I'd be taking serious issue with him with you calling him a killer whale. All right, Babs? But he's also clearly in it to win it with the Fat Olympics. His only real competition is Fat Bastard from Austin Powers and Weird Al in the Fat video.
Nice, dude.
Plus, Susie points out that guy's also always trying to cop a feel since he can't get any attention otherwise. So you better play it safe. Stay at arm's length when you serve it to him.
Woof.
Yeah. That's when Allison drops a plate and shatters it all over the floor, sending food flying everywhere. And Uncle Luigi's like, come on, honey, what are you breaking in my heart? Oh, yeah? Well, I would appreciate it if you put that goddamn cigarette out while you're cooking my food, Lou. How about that? Cash me outside.
It's 1986. Everybody had a cigarette in their mouth everywhere. You know,
dude, hospitals, schools, you're fucking smoking everywhere in 86.
Yeah, that was good for you.
Susie tries to cheer up her buddy who's not having a nice day by saying, look, in about an hour and a half, we bail this barbecue and it's good times to the max.
Yeah, it's party time.
To the max, Jason. That's where the good times are going to be. You want to take a look at the good time-o-meter? It's about to be to the max.
It's to the mat. Tris King is where the good times are going.
Yeah, Furniture King. We'll talk about that later. She goes, you've just got to show. But Allison isn't really feeling it. She doesn't know anybody, so she's not comfortable with whatever Suze has planned. Susie's like, it's all good, baby. You will after tonight. She's like, yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. She's like, hey, would I set you up with a slime dog or something? Is that on the menu at this restaurant?
Fucking slime dog.
I'll take a slime dog and an order of trash fries, please.
Sounds dirty.
But interestingly, when she says, would I set you up with a slime dog, it cuts to Luigi for a second, wiping a spatula on his disgusting apron.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, is the movie trying to tell us, did Susie try to set Allison up with Luigi at some point?
Maybe. I don't think so.
I fucking hope not, man. He's about 40 years older and about 190% grosser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But she goes, no way, babe. And then they both say, it is babe, isn't it? Which is a line from another weird and sleazy movie released the same year called My Chauffeur.
Oh, okay.
And Luigi yells at the girls for taking too long to get the food to people, and that's where we get the best line in this fucking movie.
Yeah. Waitress, mo butter.
The delivery on this is great. There's just food stuck to this guy's face and all over his shirt. And he's one of these guys, look, I'm not a small guy myself, but he's one of those dudes where you can just hear the fat in his voice. Like, we've got a local weatherman, or had anyway. I don't know if he's still doing his thing or not, but there was a meteorologist in our area. that every report he gave was like, we got a cold front moving in this week that could put a wrench in your weekend plans. 80% chance of precipitation, but 0% chance of more butter at this fucking table. Waitress, more butter. But also, is this a thing you can do at restaurants? Just yell out like, hey, garçon. I would think that's frowned upon.
What the fuck is he eating that he needs more butter anyway?
2 Uncle Luigi Belly Busters, a double anchovy pizza, and a large order of garlic knots.
Unless you're eating fucking crab or something, dude.
Dude, oh my God. But speaking of weather events, this is where we cut to outside the mall where the sky is a bit more threatening than before. We get some lightning in the sky, and it actually hits the computer on the roof of the mall, which is when the chain smoker in the control room notices something's up.
Yeah, this is Marty. Marty is definitely a chain smoker, and evidently Marty is one of the most unlucky people in the entire world. Have you ever seen lightning strike so many fucking times in the same spot?
Yeah, that's true. It keeps on fucking hammering that fucking... Well, I mean, that's what the conductors are for, though. That's why those towers are so high up in the sky, and like they put those rods on top of the skyscrapers and shit so it attracts it before it gets down to this level, which, being in LA, I would assume that lightning would have somewhere else to go other than the fucking poor mall here.
The same one over and over. And it strikes like 10 fucking times, man.
there's maybe some supernatural shit going on. But I love the quick shot of the mall exterior in this fancy lit up staircase with like neon zigzagging all the way down it. I fucking love it, dude. Super 80s. But science guy here, Marty, takes a look back at the robots, but no activity, so he goes back to doing his crossword puzzle. And the score is fucking great here. We're somewhere between tech horror suspense and a Western.
Tech horror suspense.
And lightning strikes the computer a couple more times, and suddenly the security system goes into high alert. Alarm goes off, red floodlights come on, the whole thing. And smoke starts to pour out of the computer. No, that wasn't all coming from a cigarette.
Marty's good though, man.
Yeah,
all it takes is a couple flicks of button here, button there, and
yeah, man, he starts fucking beep bop booping all over the control center here, flipping switches and hitting buttons. He's hitting buttons.
Yeah.
But he finally gets everything back under control, it would seem. His blinky light array is pleasantly blinky again. And he gives a look back over his shoulder at the robots, and then when he feels confident that no one is looking, he pulls out this manual, and tucked inside is a nudie magazine.
Hell yeah.
Nudie magazine day. Nudie magazine day. He pulls it out and starts ogling some redheaded boobies. And Protector 1 does not approve.
This is not a productive use of company time.
And he shoots a robot claw through the magazine and into this dude's neck, killing him instantly.
I thought this was pretty funny because we were talking about all these references from other movies.
Mm-hmm.
I totally think of the little alien mouth coming out.
Oh, the chest burster in Alien?
Yeah,
okay.
like the tongue alien inside of the mouth that opens up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that fucking thing's called.
The way that the xenomorph?
Yeah.
So like the little like second mouth that shoots out of his main mouth?
Yeah, dude. It's totally like these little arms that reach out and grab people and kind of shows it.
They got these little pinchy things on them.
It's like the same fucking thing, just robot style. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. We cut to our introduction to the rest of our main cast here, including Ferdy, who's carrying a bunch of fabric through the General Electric store. Oh, wait, no, this is the furniture store that apparently his uncle owns. It's just got a huge GE sign hanging up in the back for some reason.
It's kind of strange.
Ferdy says to a couple of his coworkers, man, if my uncle finds out I let you do this, I'm dead. And one of the guys, Mike, which was Steve Mitchell's intended hero, says, dude, don't be a chicken shit. He ain't gonna know diddly unless you tell him.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell him, are you?
Well, Ferdy's like, hey man, don't make me pull rank. And Mike's like, ooh, I'm scared. And the other dude sitting there, Greg, says, you know what, Brendan? You're becoming a real candidate for prickhood. I like that. He says, don't worry, Ferdy. If this place looks like shit on Monday, it's all our asses. And then he turns to Mike and goes, hey, you get the beer or what? And I love Mike's answer here. He's like, Greg, come on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. The fridge is packed. Dude. But Greg explains Rick and Linda are bringing the food. Clean sheets are definitely waiting. And Susie has a surprise for you, Ferdy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. You're just going to party at the mattress store. It's a fucking party.
It's so fucking weird. And Ferdy's not totally comfortable with the idea of being set up either, so he concerns himself with other things like finding Mrs. Flanagan's fuchsia.
what year is it? You're not okay with being set up? The fuck kind of shit?
He's just an awkward guy, you know? He doesn't have a whole
Trying
lot
to make him not awkward.
His social cues are kind of off. But Mike leaves to find Leslie, which he emphasizes with a couple of air humps. And then he quacks like a duck for some reason when he leaves the store. I'm not entirely sure what that's about.
Ducky style.
Quack, quack. But Ferdy is freaking out over not finding the Flanagan fuchsia. But Greg says, fuck the fuchsia, Ferdy, it's friggin' Friday.
Yeah.
Really digging the alliteration in this scene. Greg's like, tell the old bag to wait. That sounds like a fucking Monday problem.
Yeah, damn.
But Ferdy snaps off his clip-on tie here, by the way. Uber nerd, big old square glasses.
Party time.
We cut outside where a truck on the side of the road with an R&L automotive sign, which stands for Rick and Linda, which is a terrible name for your fucking auto shop. This truck is broken down, and Rick is hunched over the motor, and he tells Linda in the driver's seat to give it another try. It kind of turns over, but it doesn't fire up. And she's like, strike three, Walden, you're out. It's my turn. And she gets out, showing us that the shop does have a pretty cool motto. It's, we got away with wheels. Goddamn, more alliteration.
Right.
And he tells her, hey, get back in the truck. I got it. And she's like, no, motherfucker, you know the rules. You get back in the truck. And he's like, okay, Butch, you know I can't resist it when you get tough. And then they just start fucking making out in the street. She goes, just crank it when I tell you. Hey, now you don't need to give me instructions on how and when to crank it, okay? She fiddles with something under the hood, and the truck fires right up, of course. And he makes a comment about how it's always the first time with her. It looks like maybe the shop should just be called L Automotive, maybe. But she says, don't you say a word. And he's like, of course not. I covered that when I said for better or for worse. And she starts reminiscing about the oil stain on his chest at their wedding ceremony, apparently.
Ew.
Looks like they do things a little different.
Right.
I'm just imagining this awful oily garage. Sparks are flying all over the place while the Reverend yells over all the noise.
Dearly beloved. I said, dearly beloved, we're gathered here to...
God damn it, this is bullshit. Who planned this thing?
See, I was thinking Diddy oil. He had an oily chest.
No. Motor oil.
He had an oily chest.
She says it's a 40 weight stain.
Okay.
But he goes, should have been for better or for weird. And speaking of weird, he's like, what the fuck are we doing tonight? We're having a party in a mall furniture store? Why and for who?
For fucking. That's why.
She's like, relax, dude. We haven't had any fun since we sunk all our wedding money into the business. I guess that explains the shitty garage wedding. But she goes, besides, Susie's counting on us. And he starts to protest, and she's like, all right, fuck it. I guess I won't be needing this. And tosses him a piece of lingerie that she was planning on wearing for him tonight. And he's like, never mind, dude. Fucking changes his tune real quick. And who could blame him? Linda might be hotter than Barbara Crampton.
Don't get ridiculous.
I don't think I'm being ridiculous, man. Carrie Emerson, holy shit.
Dusty, I think you have a fever.
Yeah, and the only prescription is more fucking cowbell. But this dude smashes the pedal to the floor, and now all of a sudden he can't get there fast enough.
Oh, well, yeah. I told you it's a fucking party.
I thought you just meant it was a fucking party.
I mean, it's a fucking party.
We cut back to the mall where Mike has now made his way to the MGA clothing store just as we hear over the PA that the mall will be closing in 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Mike is there to get his girlfriend Leslie, by the way. He sneaks up behind her and grabs her tits to greet her.
Yes.
She's like, you horny bastard, can't you wait? And he's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, this is how we say hello where I'm from.
They start to make out right there on the floor, and Leslie's dad walks up behind them, and he's like, what can't you wait for, Michael?
Oh, yeah. How awkward is this scene, man? I feel like I've been in this situation as a kid.
I've been,
you know? What'd you say? How you doing?
In a similar situation, literally sneaking out the back door of someone's house, and the dad is standing right there to greet me.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
But Mike puts his foot in his mouth trying to explain his way out of this one, and he can't seem to form any sort of thought at all. And that's when Leslie saves the day by saying, Daddy, he was just telling me how he couldn't wait to take me over to Susie's house tonight for her birthday party. Yeah.
Well, tell him where you're going.
I don't think Pops is buying it. He tells him he's running late, and he asks Leslie to lock up. She says she'll take care of everything, and he gives him one last look and says, yeah, I'm sure you will. But speaking of daddies, we cut to Allison on the phone with hers. She's lying to him about her plans this evening, too. She hangs up a payphone, and the camera pans over to this weird locker room where Susie is finishing up getting dressed, and a bunch of girls are walking around naked.
Yeah, dude, is this a work locker room?
I have to ask, why does this locker room exist? Is it just for the restaurant? That's a fucking weird perk.
Cool.
Or does the mall have a locker room? Which, I mean, that's also weird, but
right.
I don't know, is it attached to a gym maybe? Something like that? I don't know.
Could be.
It just struck me as really odd. I don't think I've ever seen like that in any mall I've ever been to.
Right.
But it does create a reason for another Corman flick to be as chock full of boobs and butts as it can.
Perfect.
And Susie asks what Allison's dad said, and she reports that he just told her to go out and have a good time. I imagine their relationship is a lot like Scott Smalls and his mom. She's like a mousy, nerdy type too, so her dad's probably like, Jesus, for the love of God, just go out and have some fun. Get into some trouble. Not too much, but a little is okay. Just don't get pregnant, all right? But Susie is psyched that Allison's in the clear. She says it wouldn't have been that easy with her parents, which I don't buy at all. And Allison thinks she's going to regret her decision to go along with this, but Susie reasons that Allison's had a rough first week as a waitress at Uncle Luigi's, and she needs to let loose a little.
Ooh.
Cue more boobs walking by.
Perfect.
Susie says, all right, that's bitchin'. And Allison agrees as long as she doesn't have to look at any more pizza. She closes her locker with her foot, and we cut to the two of them walking to the furniture store. Now it's 10 minutes to mall closing.
Yeah, dude, I like this. You know, it's funny that they're literally walking out of the store. They all work here. You know what I mean?
Right.
A couple doors down.
Right.
And nobody's saying anything like, hey, we're locking up, we're closing. Why are you guys?
Yeah, you guys need like a new couch or something? Why are you going there?
Everybody can see in the window, you know.
But I love that Susie's getting ready as they walk, not paying any attention to what Allison is saying. And Allison's like, I'm really nervous about tonight. And Susie asks for the hairspray. She's like, I really hate blind dates. She's like, cool, lipstick, please. What if he's not my type? Wrong color, different lipstick, please. It's also weird seeing Barbara Crampton delivering all these totally tubular 80s exclamations.
Right.
She's like, oh, dude, that's bitchin'. Oh, bodacious. But Allison's like, hey, bitch, have you heard a word I've said? And Susie goes, bro, stop worrying. Besides, I told you. And then they both say at the same time, he's got a great personality.
Weird.
Oh, great. So he's ugly.
Yeah.
She's like, seriously, just trust me. And they do one last hotness check and then walk into the furniture store. Lightning crashes again, and we cut to another nerd walking into the control center for the robots, and he's got his nose stuffed in a book, and he's saying, Marty, I'm sorry I'm late, but it was all you can eat night down at the pit, and I couldn't resist the opportunity to pig out. What the fuck? That's not an acceptable excuse.
I had extra ribs.
Yeah, sorry, I was stuffing my face as much as humanly possible. Is he related to the more butter guy?
He might be.
But there's no response, obviously, so he's like, Marty, hey, yo, Marty! And he says hi to the robots, and then looks down at the last donut on Marty's plate, and he's like, Jesus, least he could do is clean up, and then he eats his fucking donut.
I was going to say, I thought he was full, man. Hey.
Seriously, dude? How can you not be? How long was he at that fucking restaurant? But he's like, waste not, want not, know what I mean? No, I guess not, huh?
Right.
Well, they're robots, so... He kicks back to read some more of his book, which is They Came from Outer Space, 12 science fiction tales that became major motion pictures. And because his feet are kicked up, his chair is slowly sliding backwards right into these robots, and the murdery one gives his PIC a little look like it's about to fucking go down.
Yeah.
And the new guy thinks he hears something, so he gives a little look behind him, and then another right away when he starts to turn back, like he thinks he's going to catch somebody in the act.
Right.
The robot clamps his little claw hand shut, and the guy thinks he feels a gust of wind or something. That's when Protector 1 opens up a little compartment getting ready to fire something at the guy.
Yeah.
But the phone rings, and when the guy gets up to get it, the little door closes again. He's like, oh, nope, not yet.
Yeah, like interrupts almost.
Yeah. And the dude answers the phone, and I love this. He's like, what do you mean? Who is this? You called me. Which, like, yeah, valid. I also hate it when you pick up the phone and hear a message saying, please hold for... No, motherfucker, you call me back when you're ready to talk. How about that? I'm not answering a phone and going on hold. You got me fucked up. But whoever's on the other end of the line wants to talk to Marty, but this guy says no, he's not here, which made me wonder, what did the robots do with the body? How'd they get it out of there and clean up the blood and everything?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
The robots,
They're smarter than we think, man. We're fucked. The guy hangs the phone back up and hears more noises from the robot shenanigans. And he turns around and I think kind of notices, hey, that robot sure seems a lot closer all of a sudden.
Right.
And the door opens back up and this fucking grappling hook or something shoots out of this little compartment and into the back of this guy's neck, pulling him backwards, snapping that shit. Not too bad.
Yeah, kick ass, dude.
We cut to the furniture store party. We got beer, we got liquor, we got sick 80s music. Everybody's dancing terribly. All systems go. Except for Ferdy, that is. He's in the bathroom trying to get ready, but freaking out too much at the same time. Definitely overthinking everything, because he can't decide if he wants to pop his collar or not. 2025 Dusty says no, but 80s Dusty might have said go for it.
Yeah, he's taking his glasses on and off. I mean, whatever, I guess. But get out there, dude. Get your dick out. What are you doing?
Get your dick out.
What are you fucking doing?
Yeah, back in the main room, Susie and Greg are dancing. Mike and Leslie are dry humping on the dance floor. He's got his hands all over that ass. And Freddie's trying to decide glasses or no glasses. But he can't see dick without those things.
Right.
He's testing his breath and shit, and he sprays some Banaka in there real quick. And I gotta say, Babs, this is not a good look. Her dancing right here is downright embarrassing.
Disagree.
I mean, she's having a good time, whatever. Ferdy starts to feel okay about himself, but then we see Susie and Greg ripping him through the back door of this place. Because apparently he said fuck it and went back to work instead.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, give me a break. I got a lot of bookkeeping to catch up on. Oh, Jesus Christ, Ferdy.
Yeah, it's time to shake her image, Ferdy.
He's a lost cause. They're like, nah, not tonight. Susie's pulling him by his belt, by the way. She's like, we got to break that Ultra Wally image. He's like, I like both my image and not breaking things, thank you. Meanwhile, Susie's touching up his hair and unbuttoning some buttons on his shirt. Ooh la la.
Nice.
Tries to take his glasses off again, and he puts them back on. Finally, she says, Ferdy Maisel, meet Allison Parks. And she turns around in a chair like a Bond villain.
Right.
And they just do this thing where it's like, hi. Hi.
Oh, they like each other.
Fucking good opening line, I guess. Do say other words, though. Greg and Susie are all smiles seeing the sparks fly between these two. That was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell.
Right, they start to make fun of him here, too.
Yeah, but it turns sexy real quick. It's like, hi, 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 hi. Oh, hello. While making out some more.
Damn, Barbara Crampton's hot.
Yeah, for sure. That's when we cut to the mall proper, where Protector 1 rolls out onto the floor saying he's going online on level 1. And he's just cruising past all these stores on patrol. We cut back to a shot of the furniture store from out front, and this place is apparently called Furniture King, the House of Royal Values.
Nice.
God, the 80s was weird. But Protector 1 rolls past and looks in at him like,
whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I didn't really know what was going to happen here,
I thought he was just going to come straight for him.
Right,
dude.
right. But how we talked about is they kind of patrol the mall. Well,
yeah.
From what we think anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he just kind of looks in, stops for a minute. You get this weird, eerie feeling, but then he continues on.
Yeah. We also see Protectors 2 and 3 roll out going online on their own respective levels. These things look clunky as fuck. Like, they should be going on a Mars rover mission or something, not be in mall security.
Dude, I just get straight Terminator vibes. We always get those close-ups of the tracks.
Dude, can you imagine if the Terminators were these stupid fucking robots?
It's like the same. It's the same shot of
top speed,
the track that we're talking about.
Yeah,
like the triangle track, but in Terminator, it's going over all the bones.
Oh yeah,
it's like the same fucking thing.
They do mimic a couple of those shots, but
right?
Yeah. I want to redo Terminator with these fucking things. These Johnny Fives rolling around. Top speed 3 miles per hour. We shoot lasers, but they don't really do anything until we want them to. But yeah, we cut back to the furniture store where Linda comes out wearing her sexy little 2-piece she teased Rick with earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, lady, you got a license for that outfit? It is pretty hot and almost see-through. Thanks, Mr. Corman. But she goes, why no, officer? I guess you're just going to have to take me in. She jumps into bed with him, and then the camera just pans over to Susie laying on top of Greg on a couch. Everybody is just ready to get down right in front of each other. This is real close to being an orgy.
Not until anybody touches somebody else. They're just having sex in the same room.
Well, or until Greg says, you smell like pepperoni. And Susie gets all offended and stands up, and he's like, wait. You didn't let me finish.
I like pepperoni.
Like pepperoni.
Yeah. Ew.
Oh, I'm dying. She's like, oh, well, since you put it that way, let me hum you a little ditty while I whip out my titties.
Yeah.
And I love her outfit here. She strips out of this thing. This is how 80s she is. She's just got a white lace shirt over another black lace shirt.
Yeah, cool.
But she hauls him out and turns around to face him. Guaranteed if these robots didn't start attacking, they would be swapping partners before too long. And we pan over to Mike and Leslie, who already has her titties out. And Mike is under the covers with his ass up in the air trying to go down on her. And she goes, Michael, sounding like Judith Myers. She's like, I don't allow that. Excuse me? On what fucking planet? That's how you know for sure a dude wrote this script.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, come on. That's not what you said last week at the shoe store party.
Yeah, weird.
He doesn't say the shoe store party.
I know.
I want this couple to just be attending different party stores in the mall, like weekend after weekend.
Oh, we only got a couple more stores to fuck in before we can say we're done in the mall.
Yeah, I want to conquer this entire mall. It is my mission. We finally pan over to Allison and Ferdy, the only couple here not fucking. They're watching a movie instead. This is Attack of the Crab Monsters. You guessed it, another Roger Corman production.
Right.
This thing looks fucking terrible. Never had the pleasure myself.
Yeah, the black and white ones are kind of hard, man.
A lot of those, like especially the sci-fi ones, like there are good black and white movies for sure.
Right.
But they're not in this fucking genre, dude. Everything was extra cheesy back then.
Attack of the 100-foot
whatever. Yeah, the blob that ate this city, the fucking
right.
whatever, that blank, it's all bullshit. But Allison gets freaked out by a terrible effect and buries her face into Ferdy's shoulder, causing him to have a fucking nerd panic attack. He starts like breathing heavy and wheezing like, oh my God, I can't believe it. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm pretty sure his pants are no longer completely dry, but he fucking, as soon as she like buries her fucking face in his shoulder, he's like,
yeah, noise.
But they share a look like, hey, that wasn't so bad. And she apologizes like, oh, I don't know why I watch these things. I scare so easily. Yeah, that's half the fun.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But he goes, oh, sorry, I should have told you about that. I've seen this one a few times. Really, dude? Why?
Because the crab monsters are scarier the second time through.
He asks if he can get Allison some more wine, and she's like, Ferdy, are you trying to get me drunk? And he's like, oh, no, of course not. Even though she was obviously saying it like, you wouldn't be trying to get me drunk, would you?
Right.
Why not? And he explains that Greg set him up tonight so he wouldn't squeal to his uncle, but he wasn't expecting it to be so nice.
Aw.
And Allison says she's having a good time too, and it looks like they might be about to kiss, but then we get Leslie starting to howl. Oh God! Oh God! You're the king! You're the king! Jesus Bartholomew Christ. Come on, you guys. This could have been planned out a little better.
The Furniture King.
Ferdy takes his cue and he's like, oh, look, this has been great, but the mall's going to seal up in about an hour. What do you say I take you home? And she's like, oh, that's nice, but no, let's stay. But dude, I don't know what she was thinking on this delivery or what Wynorski was thinking leaving it in. I know you have a bullshit budget, but you can afford 2 takes on 1 shot, right?
Right.
She says, that's real sweet, Ferdy, but if it's all right with you. And that's when she tosses her cup into the garbage can behind her without looking. Fucking old girl putting on the moves. She's like, we can stay a little longer. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Take 2, Jesus Christ. And she takes off his glasses and they finally do start to make out. We watch as the movie they were watching ends, and we cut to the janitor, Walter Paisley, played by Dick Miller. He's wringing out a mop that looks like it's just got liquid chocolate ice cream coming out of it. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, dude. Milkshake or just old-ass water.
I fucking hope the former because Jesus. But he slaps the mop on the floor and starts pushing it around when another couple of janitors come walking up with beers, making fun of him. One of them's like having a good time, and the other one's like, yeah, you know him. He loves a challenge. And Walter goes, yeah, go ahead and laugh, you guys. But if I ever find the little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you tell him, Walt.
You should have fucking gave him a hand so they could all have a beer.
Seriously, that's what friends would do. These are not fucking friends.
Right.
The one guy says, hey, you better hurry up. You don't want to get locked in again, do you? Oh, shit, that happened? That's why this poor guy's the laughingstock among his peers? Woof. But they walk away, and Protector 1 comes rolling up behind him as he's trying to clean up this mess, and he runs into the bucket of water behind him, splashing it all over the ground, all around him. And he gets pissed and starts yelling at it like, oh, you clumsy son of a bitch. And the robot asks him for ID and tells him not to make any sudden moves, which prompts Walter to threaten swinging a mop at it. It's like, I got to turn you into scrap metal for this. The robot fires a taser wire toward him, but, quote, misses.
Right. Yeah, it just lands by his feet.
Yeah. And he tries to reason with it. He's like, hey, man, I'm like you. I work here, but nothing in response. So he goes to whack this robot with the mop, and the robot activates its taser cable, sending electricity through the water on the floor and up into Walter, electrocuting the shit out of him.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Which, the science behind it is questionable, but I'll forgive it because we get some fun electric skeleton effects like Daniel Stern in Home Alone. No, not quite, but it does light him up and he starts smoking and shit.
Right.
And then, after it kills this guy, the robot does the catchphrase that will be fucking repeated after every kill for the rest of this movie.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
We get another shot of Dick Miller's sizzling corpse as we hear Mike say, "Smoking's bad for your health," and we cut to him and Leslie in bed. She's freaking out because she doesn't have any cigarettes and they just had sex. It's like bad luck not to smoke after sex or something. She's like, I have to have one now.
And she's got to have her own brand too.
Yeah, man.
It's typical.
She's fucking insufferable, man.
Which this kind of confused me at first because, you know, she's telling Greg, hey, I need you to go and get my smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I don't like those smokes. And I'm like, well, the mall's closed.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't, I don't remember there being a cigarette store in the mall. But we realized pretty quick.
Not a store, but because it's 1986, we got a fucking stand in here.
Yeah, we totally forget about cigarette dispensers, dude.
Yeah, man. It's like a little cigarette vending machine.
Right. That's where I used to get my cigarettes. You know what I mean? They were in every bar.
You don't have to ask anybody for shit. They don't try to ID you.
They were sitting right by the door in bars in the early 90s still. You know what I mean? Late 90s even.
Fucking poor Mike, dude. He's trying to convince her to not do that. And he's like, can't you think of anything you'd rather have besides a smoke? She's like, no.
More fucking.
Right. He's like, all right, well, I think Singleton left a pack of Camels in the back room. And she's like, Camels? Get the fuck out of here. You know I only smoke Virgin Lights. You know, how appropriately inappropriate. But she convinces him to go down to the cigarette machine downstairs. And he gets all pissy and stands up, bitch, and you always get your way, don't you? And she responds, when I'm happy, everybody's happy.
Truth.
Oh, everybody, huh?
Truth.
He asks her to hand him his badge, and she goes, what's the magic word? Bitch, I didn't hear you saying please when you told him to go get your fucking smokes.
She's in charge, man.
Dude, no, fuck that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. He says please and thank you, though. And he's just about to go when she says, oh, Mike? And he turns around like, fucking what? And she lowers her covers to show them boobies again. And she's like, hurry back. Oh, okay. That makes everything all better.
It does. It definitely does.
Hey, yes, please.
Totally fine.
He says, count on it, and gives a little Tim Taylor grunt, like, oh, I can't wait to get back to those titties. And he walks down to get the cigarettes. And importantly, A, he doesn't zip his pants up until he's outside the store.
Hell yeah.
And 2, he leaves the fucking front door open. Nice job, Dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I love all the big expansive spaces in this mall. That's honestly one of my favorite things. Malls, movie theaters. I don't know what it is about these big spaces that make me feel so comfortable, but especially when they're dark and deserted and preferably carpeted. And the hallway he walks into is the most 80s hallway of all time. Just beige tiles everywhere.
Right.
One cigarette machine, one payphone. This is like a bullet train back in time. And this might be quickly becoming one of my favorite movies, dude. He starts hearing shit happening all around him, and he thinks Leslie is playing a trick on him. And that's when the loudest phone in the fucking world rings right next to him. Great jump scare.
Yeah, for sure.
And he picks it up and he says, no, Jamal, there haven't been any messages for you.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
I need to know if that was a wrong number or if it was him, like that's his regular thing and somebody's supposed to be there at this time grabbing the phone, telling him about his fucking messages, his drug messages. But he bends down to check his hair out in the reflection of the cigarette machine, real classy. And one of the protectors rolls up behind him asking for his ID now. And we should have done a little bastard count in this movie because they sure do seem to say it a lot. He was like, geez, you little bastards are quiet.
Right.
And he holds up his ID badge for the robot to scan. And he says, Klaatu Barada Nikto, which is a famous quote. Well, it's made famous in horror circles for its use in Army of Darkness. Mm-hmm. But it originated in the sci-fi film The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1951. Fun little fact there.
Okay.
But the robot starts rolling toward Mike and he goes to run away, but immediately encounters a locked door. And the protector gets him in the back with a sleep dart and then clamps down on his neck, killing him. And that's when we see Leslie come out to check on him in her undies and does close the door behind her. That's the only good thing she does in this fucking movie. But she calls out to Mike and now she thinks he's playing tricks on her.
Yeah.
So she gets pissed immediately. And Allison's like, what's up with them? Ferdy's like, I don't know, dude. All they do is have sex and fight. You know, like most couples. It's all about balance, Jason. Meanwhile, Greg and Susie are still actively having sex behind them on the couch.
Nice.
And Ferdy again points out, hey, 15 minutes until this place is sealed up tighter than the lid on a pickle jar. And she just thanks them for their time together. We cut to a gratuitous butt shot, just a close-up following Leslie on her search for Mike.
Yes.
And she turns the corner down that hallway, and I don't know how in the hell she doesn't see him on the floor until she literally trips over his body.
Yeah, because we catch a little glimpse, but Guess it's just supposed to be darker in there, you know?
But then, giving us a further glimpse into the character that Leslie is. Instead of concern or anything, she gets pissed off again, starts yelling at his fucking corpse to wake up. Like getting angry at this corpse.
Right.
And finally she grabs him and pulls him toward her, and that's when we finally see the neck wound. Blood starts spurting out of it, she screams.
Yeah, awesome.
A protector comes busting out of that door, and they begin another slow pursuit scene. She's not running very fast. Wants to give the poor little robot a chance, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about the door opening here and like all of the fog rolling out of
yeah,
this.
it's like backlit. It looks like
Right.
fucking that one. Speaking of Barbara Crampton, that scene in Reanimator.
Right. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Meanwhile, this thing is firing little laser blasts at her, but not doing any damage at all. Like, it hits her a bunch, including one shot right in the ass.
I like that they're pink instead of Hellraiser blue.
Yeah. But everyone hears her screams, and they come running to the door in various states of dress. Like, Ferdy and Allison are fully clothed. Rick and Linda are like in undies and jeans. Susie's just wrapped in a sheet, and I'm pretty sure at this point Greg is just standing behind her naked. But Leslie lets out one last scream, and this killbot, whose laser attacks have been super low energy to this point, fires again, hits her in the head, and it just blows to absolute fucking smithereens, dude.
Right, yeah, blood shoots all over the fucking window.
I don't know where it summoned the extra power from, but this thing just fucking turns to confetti.
Kill shot, dude.
Blood sprays all over the glass door they're standing in front of, and then the robot mocks him with another
Thank you. Have a nice day.
I think the rise of the machines is here.
I love the juxtaposition of that. Like, makes lady's head explode and then innocently says, "Have a nice day," not realizing it's done anything wrong.
Right.
But then the language switches up a bit and goes,
Protector 1 arming, detaining intruder.
That's when another one rolls up and says it's here to assist number 1.
Yeah, fuck.
That's when Greg takes charge a bit. He's like, we need to make our way to the fucking storeroom right now. The killbots roll up and take the glass doors out with a quickness, though. Y'all better hurry your little asses up.
Right.
As they run, a bunch of little Star Wars laser beams shoot all over them. Pew, 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 pew. And poor Barbara Crampton running in a sheet. Her and Greg fall right back onto that couch for a second. It can't be easy to maneuver in that thing.
This place is getting fucking destroyed, man.
Oh my
I
God.
think Ferdy's going to have some explaining to do on Monday.
Ferdy and Allison end up jumping over a bed to escape the carnage because Protectors 1 and 2 are just Scarfacing this fucking place.
Yeah.
Firing lasers everywhere. Fucking this furniture store up. Ferdy's uncle's going to be so pissed.
Yeah, TV's exploding. There's feathers flying in the fucking air.
The whole group just continuously diving over everything they can. And then Rick gets the bright idea to throw a table at the robots. Just a tiny little table. I don't know if he was throwing it at them or maybe just trying to provide an obstacle, but either way, they just wasted the time it took to do that. They ain't
Right.
stopping shit.
Yeah, they end up making it to the back of the store somehow.
Yeah.
Which is a miracle. Like you said, it's a fucking shootout out here. There's just lasers everywhere.
And luckily, the door that they close is impervious to the laser blasts that are wrecking the rest of this fucking store for some reason. They start piling U-Haul boxes in front of it, which seems unnecessary.
I was going to say, that ain't going to fucking help, dude.
But it buys them enough time at least. Susie finally gets dressed, and they start figuring ways to get out. Ferdy picks up a phone, but it's dead. Linda mentions the fire exit. I like that everyone is resourceful in one way or another. Like they're not just complete stupid, dead meat characters.
Right.
One way or another, they all sort of have a hand in it. But Greg's like, no, the fire exit's just going to put us right back down there with him. And she's like, well, it's better than being trapped in here, isn't it? Who knows what they're planning right now? And Rick agrees and says they need to find their way to a place with weapons. And that's when the robots shut the whole place down and seal not only the outer doors, but I think some inner ones as well. Must be midnight.
Yeah, for sure.
We get this amazing shot right here where it's just a dramatically lit bay door, and then we see the shadow of a robot drive into frame, and he just pinches his little clamp hands a couple of times.
Right. You're fucked.
Oh, it's so great. It reminds me of the old Honda commercials where the crab is like, I pinch.
Yeah.
I want to pinch. Why no pinch? Maybe little pinch? But Allison calls out, what was that? And Greg's response will send a chill down your spine, dude. He's like, that's the sound of us being locked in here all night.
Yeah, fuck,
Dun,
dude.
dun, dun. At least until 6 a.m. And Ferdy thinks the computers have taken control of the electrical systems as well because the phone is dead. And Allison points out, hey, what about the air duct?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Ferdy's like, they can take it down to the parking levels and make their way out, so nobody wastes any time at all. They haul ass toward it. Barbara Crampton's the first to go up, but she's all slow and whimpery about it. Meanwhile, the robots are busy planting fucking plastic explosives on the doors.
Yeah, the door hinges.
Why are they equipped with that?
Gotta get the bad guys, man.
With C4?
Yeah.
What the fuck? No way, dude. Susie reacts to the sound and goes, "What was that? Bitch, don't worry about it. Move."
Right. Get into the vents.
But Linda goes next, and Rick is like, "Don't worry, baby. I'm right behind you." And she fires back as usual. Allison climbs up and looks back at Ferdy for some reassurance. And unfortunately, only the ladies are able to get up into the air duct by the time the killbots blow down the doors, forcing the guys to abandon that plan and go running off in a different direction. Up in the duct, however, the girls are crawling through talking about how hot it is in there, and Susie thinks it's because the robots already know they're in there and they're trying to smoke them out, essentially.
Yeah, get out of here.
Allison's like, "Oh, come on, it ain't that bad. You know Luigi gives you twice as much heat at the restaurant." But as they crawl, they start to feel the metal getting hot under their hands, and I really wish we would have gotten some Cronenbergian hand skin melting shit going on here.
Oh, yeah.
But no such luck. Allison tells them to wrap something around their hands. They'll be all right. And Susie starts to freak out. Maybe she's claustrophobic or something, but she can't handle being in this fucking air duct anymore. And just then, the guys burst out of a door looking for a way out of the mall, but Rick asks if the mall has a sporting goods store instead.
Oh, shit.
Prompting Greg and Ferdy to respond in unison, "Peck and pause." A lot of lines delivered simultaneously in this movie. I'm digging it.
Right. And I love that this is the 80s, because
Yes.
you don't go to a sporting goods store in 2025 and catch an arsenal of weapons usually. Like, because I think of like Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
You
Which
know?
is apparently the only fucking sporting goods store that exists anymore.
Right. You know, compared to something like Cabela's or something now where it's outdoors. Just they've been separated, you know.
This is why capitalism is bad, folks. Monopolies.
There would just never be a gun store in the fucking mall. It would never happen.
It does.
You know?
Well, it's a sporting goods store, but it does seem pretty heavily fucking leaning toward the gun
Dude,
aspect.
fuck yeah. There's like shotguns and assault rifles. And
Yeah,
like
dude.
he's got like a fucking M16 or something, man.
He ends up pulling out a fucking Dirty Harry revolver, like a fucking 357 Magnum. But we cut to this store, and Greg asks how they'll get in, and Rick's like, "Don't worry, I got the keys," and he just smashes the fucking window.
Right.
The first of many, many, many window smashes in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess it wasn't the first. The robots smashed through the window a little bit ago, so. The second, never mind. There's a lot of fucking defenestration happening in this movie, all right? But he tells Ferdy to grab some propane tanks, the biggest ones you can find, while he and Greg grab guns. Actually, Ferdy grabs a revolver as well, but the way he's looking at it, I think one of the other ones should probably take it away from him before he hurts himself.
Oh, yeah.
We get a little gear up montage, and they're just like loading clips and cocking guns and cocking and loading and loading and cocking. I can't take this no more.
Stop saying cocking.
That's what you do with guns, Jason. But Rick drops maybe the dumbest line of the movie. He's like, "Let's go send those fuckers a Rambogram."
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
I liked it.
That's when we cut to them walking along all armed up, and the score crescendos into this like hero fanfare. It's like the hero shot in a movie, or like the Marvel shot where all the heroes are like walking slow motion toward the fucking danger.
Right.
But Greg asks Ferdy if he's sure he knows how to use his revolver, and he's like, "Of course I do. I saw Dirty Harry 24 times. First of all, you're counting.
Training.
I can understand if he was like, "Yeah, dude, I saw Dirty Harry like 25 times. Don't even worry about it." He was like generalizing, but he's like, "No, I
24.
saw Dirty Harry 20 times plus 4. Rick fires 3 shots into the air to get the robot's attention, and one of them comes around the corner immediately. They all open fire on this son of a bitch. Doesn't seem to be doing much, though.
No, I think it might have been a bad move to bring him to them, you know?
Right. For some reason, they wait way too long to take cover while this thing is machine gun firing lasers at him. And finally, this thing gets close enough for Ferdy to roll the propane tank at it, and Rick jumps out to fire a shot and blow it up. But for someone that seemed to know his way around firearms, it takes this dude way too many rounds to actually hit it.
Right.
He fires like 7 shots before this thing goes up. But it seems like they've finally taken out one of the killbots. However, I'm not really sure, because the scene cuts away so abruptly, it doesn't give you time to confirm before we're back up in the air ducts with the girls. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is pretty quick.
Low budget. But here we are. Susie's fucking still losing it. She's saying she's got to find Greg. He needs me. I gotta get out of here. Bitch, don't nobody need you in the pathetic state you're in right now. You can't help anybody with shit.
It was a terrible idea, and they decide to hop out of the vents, and I thought they were kind of telling her you're on your own, but all the girls stick together.
Yeah, like, Allison's had enough of her bullshit, though. She's like, Susie, please. The boys told us to go down to the parking levels. Kindly shut the fuck up.
Right.
And we check in with the boys again for a second, and they look like they have indeed vanquished the, oh shit, wait a second, it's laying on its side, but it makes one last electronic buzz, and they all just jump and shoot it one last time, like, ah, fuck! But upstairs, the girls are starting to bicker a bit. Linda tells Susie to keep going. Greg wouldn't want you to give up now, and she's like, go to hell, Linda! I'm fucking getting out of here, and she decides to break out a vent below her. We cut back to the guys confirming their kill real quick, and there's a liquid bubbling sound as Ferdy asks, what the fuck is that? And Rick says, robot blood, a.k.a. oil, you jackwagons.
Oh, yeah. You jackwagon.
But Greg reminds them that there's still 2 to go, and he's got some sort of accent creeping in here. I'm not sure where that came from, but he's like, there's still 2 of these suckers around here someplace.
It always comes back to Brooklyn with you, don't it?
That's what he's fucking doing. Like, he wasn't talking like that for the rest of the fucking movie.
It's
and now all of a
every
sudden,
movie.
there's two more of these suckers around here someplace. What? Who are you? Where's Greg? But Rick's like, all right, more propane tanks, please. Back with the girls, they're now in the hardware store, and Linda reminds Susie this is a dumbass idea, but she's convinced that the guys must be hurt and need their help. And Linda's like, all right, well, if we're going to do this, we better arm up. And we cut away because now we get to hang out with Protector 2 for a little bit while he just cruises around. He stops in front of a Florsheim shoe store and scopes it out. Dang, robot, that's awfully sexist of you to assume these ladies would go to a shoe store.
Didn't notice that.
But he carries on until he gets the bright idea to work smarter, not harder, and he backs up into a little alcove and turns off all his lights. Hey man, that's illegal. Your lights need to be on and you need to be visible. Yeah. I will not stand for this. I am an American and I have rights.
Fucking cops, man.
Not anymore, you don't. Not as long as I'm around. But we cut to the boys with 2 more propane tanks and they're trying to get into the elevator, which I wonder if it's still covered in ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Did Dick Miller end up getting up there before he was fucking electrocuted? As they try to pry the door open, Ferdy says he's got to worry. And Greg repeats it, Ferdy's got to worry. He's like, hey man, what if these things can read our minds? Weird question, but valid, I guess.
Oh.
And Rick's just like, well, they're going to be awful mad when they get to me. Nice dude. Pretty badass line. They get the doors open, but I'm wondering what their plan is beyond that, because these things still aren't going to move up and down.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I thought right away.
We cut to the girls, and Linda's teaching them how to make supersized Molotov cocktails out of full-gallon tanks of gas.
Yeah, dude, sick. I wouldn't have thought that she was, prepared for something like this, but I guess maybe working in a garage.
Oh, yeah, she's got background with that stuff. And,
right.
But these are like fucking Molotov nukes, dude.
Super important to note, Allison finds a road flare titty. I'm sorry, a road flare, and puts it in her titties.
Yeah, Allison's surprised and a little suspicious to learn of A, how it's so easy to do this, and B, how it came so naturally to Linda. Because she's the best of you, okay? She's the fucking best. That's when Allison sees a huge sign for a sale on road flares. Damn, that's good timing. Not to mention, these aren't just any old road flares, Jason. These are special road flares. It says so right there on the sign.
Oh.
And I like the middle line on this sign. Why get caught in a dangerous situation? But it's an exclamation point at the end instead of a question mark. But Susie starts to second guess herself, and Linda reassures her. That's when Allison tries to pocket one of those road flares, but she can't figure out where to stick it. So she shoves it down her shirt.
Nice.
We cut back to Protector 1, who we think was eliminated from the competition here, but fuck me, he stands himself back up, says,
Protector 1 back online.
son of a bitch!
Yeah, damn, dude.
Back to the boys who are now on top of the elevator. At least Greg and Rick are, connecting hoses to the propane tanks or some shit. And Ferdy's down at the control panel trying to hotwire it. Greg asks if Rick thinks Mike got out all right. Sorry, Greg, I got some bad news for you.
Nope.
And he also asks how much he owes Rick for the beer.
See, no matter what's going on, I'm still thinking about ass.
Well, his accent seems to be getting stronger the closer we get to the end of this movie, but Rick says forget it, just give me a 6-pack after we get out of here. But I like that Greg is conscientious even when evading killer robots, although it was probably more of a sanity-driven decision, just trying to make small talk to keep themselves calm.
Right.
But Greg asks if he's sure his plan with these tanks is going to work, and Rick's like, look, dude, I don't even work here. With those things, I'm not sure of anything.
Right.
And Greg checks on Ferdy's progress, and he's got the doors opening and closing, but he can't do anything about it going up or down. And he goes, do you hear anything unusual? And Freddy's like, yeah, my heartbeat. And just then, Protector 2 wakes up from his nap and pops out to come after Susie, who immediately just starts screaming her fucking head off.
Dude, it's so good, though. So fucking good.
The girls run away with their gas cans in hand in a shot that's almost a total mirror of the one with the boys versus Protector 1.
Yeah.
The only real difference being Susie's incessant screams and the fact that she's totally useless. So essentially, it's just a 2-on-1 now. But I think this is my least favorite Barbara Crampton performance of all the ones we've covered on the pod thus far. Or at least my favorite character. I suppose she's playing it fine. It's just an annoying character.
Right. So it turns out the guys are en route hearing her screams. So surprisingly, they catch up pretty damn quick. Right. But not before Susie catches a laser to the leg.
Dude. Allison fucking slides this big gulp of a Molotov cocktail and slides it across the floor at the killbot. Some flames shoot up, but it doesn't seem to really do much, though. Mm-hmm. Sweet shot, though, seeing the killer robot amongst the flames. But Susie has a stupid-sounding scream even in reaction to that. Like her throwing the fucking gas can. She's like, ah! But she's like, it's not stopping! Yeah, you need something explosive-y, not just fire. They start running again, but yeah, old Suze gets got in the leg by a laser blast, and with the cover fire that the robot is laying down, the other two can't really do much about it. It creeps slowly closer to the other two, who are more angry at Susie for not getting up and running than they are concerned, because they both kind of just watch it happen. Neither one does a single fucking thing.
Yeah, they're no help.
But this robot says, thank you, have a nice day, and shoots the fucking gas can, blowing it up right next to Susie and sets her on fire.
Yeah. Brutal, man.
Well, two things. First, the shot of her on fire is done by a male stunt double, which has very little bearing on what on the shot when a figure is covered in flames. But second, I don't know about these robots delivering snarky lines as they lay the death blow. That's a little too autonomous. But I like the name of the store Susie's burning outside of, though. It's called Footnotes.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, man, Susie goes down. Rick loses his shit and goes all Rambo on this robot. Or I'm sorry, Greg, not Rick. He fires a whole bunch of rounds into it until Rick tells him, fuck it, it's not working, let's get out of here.
Yeah, no use.
They all haul ass out of there, Allison, Linda, and Ferdy with a comfortable lead because Rick told Ferdy to get the chicks out of there to safety. And Rick and Greg are making less progress because they're still firing at the robot to slow it down.
Right.
And the group in the front runs up an escalator before Greg follows. Rick ends up throwing his gun to Greg and dives into the elevator, crawling back up through the top. Oh, okay, so they're leading it to, into a trap.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sick. But Greg does run up the escalator, though, just as the robot turns the corner to fire a shot into the elevator door control panel and gets on. The score here is fucking ripping, by the way.
Yeah, this is a tense-ass moment.
Yeah, while the robot does like a 16-point turn around in this tiny elevator, like the Austin Powers thing yet again. He's like... And Greg finally catches up to the rest of them and hands Linda Rick's gun. And they all stand and watch with their weapons trained on the elevator as Rick seals it and starts to pump propane into it. Sick. Right. Nice upgrade.
Yeah, great idea.
Fucking achievement unlocked, dude.
Yeah, Rick jumps off the top of the elevator. Everybody starts to take a shot trying to blow this up with the robot in it.
Yeah, he fucking yells at him to fire, jumps off this thing onto another platform. And this is the worst part of the movie. They all start firing at the tanks on the elevator, but everyone's a terrible fucking shot. That is, until Allison awkwardly grabs Ferdy's revolver away from him and takes like 12 seconds to set up her shot. She puts her foot up on the railing, leans against another one, really dials it in for this. And then, yeah, boom, one shot, one kill, nails the tank on the first try, sending the elevator careening down and exploding at the bottom.
Yeah, dude. Fucking sweet, man. There's a lot of action going on in this movie.
Oh, for sure. For the second time in this movie, Ferdy tells Allison, nice shot, and explains that her dad is a Marine. Then we cut to the restaurant where Linda tells everyone, according to my calculations, provided we survive the night, we're going to be in hock to this place for the next 85 years. Fucking what?
Yeah, like you owe them for their robots destroying this fucking place.
They can't blame the destruction of this fucking mall on 5 kids who planned a fuck party in a furniture store. Right. That's silly.
Right.
But if it weren't for these damn robots, everything would have been just fine, you know?
Mm-hmm.
However, this is one of the moments in the movie where it kind of bogs down a little bit. We're just resetting, preparing for the next act. And Rick asks how many tune-ups it'd be to pay for it, and she says 2,900,431. God damn, dude. You're going to be working on cars every second for the rest of your life. It's going to be like Michael Jordan chained to that basketball court in Space Jam.
Right.
He's like, maybe we should raise our rates. And then he looks over at Alice and he's like, hey, Deadeye. She's like, yo. He's like, he goes, nice shooting. And that's when Greg has to ask, why did you leave the air shaft? You were safe there. Oh, hey, why don't you ask your crispy-ass girlfriend, Greg?
Right, no shit.
She has nipples, Greg. Could you milk her?
Yeah, he's pissed off because she's dead, but I guess he doesn't realize it's her fucking fault.
Yeah.
So.
Allison's like, Susie thought you were in trouble. She was just trying to help. He's like, you should have kept her in there. What the fuck am I going to do, dude? She was behind me kicking out a fucking vent.
You keep that bitch in that fucking vent, all right?
You don't crawl for an hour and call it quits. You get your ass up there and you keep that girl in that fucking vent. But Ferdy pipes up, hey man, she told you what happened. Just leave her alone. And Greg is like, no, you shut your fucking mouth, nerd. This is between us.
True.
And Rick reminds them, everybody needs to shut the fuck up. There's still another robot out there. I got news for you, buddy. There's still at least 2, yeah. Linda's like, wait, if there's another one, why haven't we seen it? Greg says it's because it's out there, waiting to pick us all off one by one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I got news for you. He ain't getting me. And this dude holds up a bullet and goes to start loading his gun. Holy shit, dude. He's about to take himself out.
Right.
Rick talks him out of it, or tries to, but he seems pretty intent on the plan for the moment. He goes, a lot of good sticking together did Susie, right? And Ferdy stops him with another idea. He's like, the master computer's on the 3rd level. If we shut it down, that shuts the robots down.
Yeah, nobody thought of this earlier.
Yeah.
Should have did this first.
What the fuck? But Greg says, all right, let's go trash the fucker. And he goes charging out like a bat out of hell. The rest of the group can't keep up with him. And they think his recklessness here is going to get them all killed. Looks like they had a point because his dumbass reaches the top of these stairs and he turns around telling them the coast is clear without having looked even a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Protector 3 is right the fuck behind him and immediately grabs his arm and tosses him over the rail.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Like breaks his neck. It's a nice.
This is a great fall, actually.
Yeah.
They did this practically with a stunt performer inside the mall. This is pretty dope.
Oh, okay.
But Greg lands in a classic I just fell from something really high pose.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey with his leg turned.
Yeah. He's got a puddle of blood under his head. Of course, the robots can't kill someone without rubbing everybody's nose in it.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
But everybody runs off, but they're intercepted by Protector 1 on the way down. He's on the bottom level.
Yeah.
That's when they realize, oh shit, we didn't kill it.
And again, you know the bullets don't work. So as they start to run off, they just start firing again. I wouldn't even bother. Like, it seems like you kind of have to blow it up before your bullet gets through their armor or whatever the fuck.
Or to do anything to them. And even when you do blow it up with a fucking propane tank right at its feet, it fucking just stands itself back up and keeps coming.
Right.
But both remaining robots converge on level 2 to detain the intruders, and this shot of Protector 1 coming up the escalator, they had to get a little crafty to get the shot because the robots were too wide to fit on the escalators.
Oh, yeah.
So when we see the first robot riding up, it's like from the chest up on it because they had to dismantle it and put the top of it on a crew member and have him ride up wearing this stupid thing.
Oh, wow.
But they come to a big bay door, and Rick fires a couple shots in it to unlock it. Ferdy tries to lift it, but it's stuck, and they notice both robots catching up to him fucking fast.
Right.
And he's finally able to lift it just enough for them to squeeze underneath and close it back up again, but Allison gets a laser beam to the arm before she can get through.
Damn.
They're still trying to get to level 3 to shut down the computer, but Linda points out that they can't unlock the doors or the robots will get through. Which is when Rick tries the silliest trick to keep the doors locked and just shoves this fucking metal stick into the gears. But it's hanging there like it could easily fall out at any time.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. I noted Rick shittily jams the door shut.
Yeah. Outside the door, the killbots look at each other like, what now? And one of them says, instructions, attempt entry, level 3. And then Protector 1 starts cutting through this door with his laser beam eyes, and Protector 3 gets up to level 3. That's when the group takes a moment to collect themselves and patch Allison up. She tells everybody maybe they should split up, which is usually a terrible idea, but in this case, I don't know, there's 4 of them, 2 robots. I think the odds are a little better in this particular case.
Right.
Ferdy yells at Allison, though, and Linda defends her, and everybody's fucking heated right now. Ferdy apologizes, and Linda's like, it's okay, it's not you. And then she delivers probably the silliest fucking line in the whole thing. I guess I'm just not used to being chased around a mall in the middle of the night by killer robots.
Yeah.
But delivers that line completely sincerely.
Yeah, me either.
Like, really? You're not? That's not just a regular occurrence for you? Lady, you need to get out more. But we cut back to Protector 1's progress through cutting through the door, and it looks like he's about halfway there. Back up with the group, everybody's just kind of getting some rest, although Linda's passed out, leaned up against Rick. And Allison scoots up next to Ferdy all close and gets some snugs in.
This is so ridiculous. Why are you just sitting there now? What happened to finding the computer?
They're taking a fucking break, man, all right? Shit has been going down for the last at least 20 minutes.
That's how you die. Keep moving.
Protector 1 finally gets through the door, though, and that's when they take their cue to Vamoose. And Allison gets a pretty good idea for a distraction. She goes, hey, if they want some target practice, why don't we give them some targets, and gestures toward a bunch of mannequins behind them. Here's the thing, though. They set up this whole big display, and then they stand amongst the mannequins where the robot is definitely firing lasers.
Right.
What the fuck kind of plan is this?
Just in hopes that they will fire at the not.
Yeah,
real.
Their whole plan is like, we're going to distract them, play a trick on them, and bring their attention to these mannequins who look like people, so they'll shoot them instead of us. But then they stand right the fuck next to them. Why put your bodies in the line of fire next to the mannequins? Am I fucking missing something?
Idiots.
I guess it's just so they're close enough to these mirrors that they've set up, but covered, planning to uncover them at the right moment to reflect the lasers back at the robots, effectively making it kill itself.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Actually, brilliant idea. I didn't think of that at all.
Do you understand how precise the angles of these mirrors have to be to get that to work?
Right. I did not know. I'm not a laser scientist, Dusty. Do I look like a laser scientist?
I don't feel like you have to be a laser scientist. Like the plan is sound. I understand what you're trying to do with reflecting the laser. Great, whatever. But I don't know, man. You had about 30 seconds to set this up, and you're just tossing mannequins and mirrors all over the place. It's just fucking way far-fetched.
It's all rocket appliances.
But it kind of works, I guess. One laser bounces back off and hits the robot, making it go haywire and spin around, fucking firing wildly every which way, until one of those lasers hits Linda in the gut and she goes down without much of a fight.
Yep.
Rick loses his mind and jumps on an extremely slow-moving cart thing. It's like the luggage movers at the airport.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And he drives it right into this robot. And Allison says what we're all thinking, Rick, no! Yeah, you idiot, no, don't do that. It's slow as shit. All he does is bump into it and catch some of the electrical current pulsing through the robot.
Right.
And he goes down too.
And then the fucking robot explodes.
I found it interesting though. Rick gets taken out seconds after Linda, and that's when I realized, oh man, I really like how these people are being taken out in couples in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, first it's Mike and Leslie, then it's Susie and Greg, now it's Linda and Rick. The only ones left now are fucking Allison and Ferdy, who are not quite a couple. But it's a really cool little detail.
Right.
But luckily, the stupid cart does manage to blow up this Protector. So now we've just got Ferdy, Allison, and Protector 1 left.
Right. What a party, man.
Right? They go on the hunt for this goddamn computer to end this thing once and for all. And Allison is still trying to split up, and Ferdy's still arguing about it. She's like, what can happen? He's like, you want a list? And finally he agrees because they're wasting time. Too many fucking doors to check.
Right.
And she walks off down a random hallway, and something falls down from the ceiling at her, scaring the shit out of her. Not really sure what it is, even still.
Yeah, no, they never even talk about it.
I don't know. It's just some random thing that happens to be on a fucking wire. Cool mall, guys. Ferdy enters another door, gun first. If he was a gentleman, he would have given that to her. She's a better shot anyway.
Right.
She does pick up a pipe, though, and she sees this door start to open, and she attacks whatever the fuck is inside it, which just turns out to be a whole bunch of shifting metal objects.
A bunch of junk?
It's the robot spare parts room.
It's so strange.
But poor Ferdy is shitting his pants all alone now, and he goes trotting down this long corridor while Allison explores this little storeroom, and he finds a door, but it's all chained up. She isn't so lucky. What she stumbles across is the final killbot and starts screaming for Ferdy.
I just wanted to point out that after she enters the room with junk, and we can tell for sure it's some kind of storage room, would the computer for these robots be tucked away in a room full of shit?
Probably fucking not.
Right.
I'm thinking
wouldn't
probably
there be
not.
some kind of like command station and the door would say like
what
robot security or something?
Are you going to rifle through all this bullshit trying to find a computer underneath it? And you think that's the one that they operate? These fucking fresh robots they just...
It's also 1986, so the computer's the size of a fucking room.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I was going to say about fucking Marty earlier, chain smoking in that command center. It's a huge fucking like... There's blinky lights all over the place. It's like fucking Ninja Turtles when they go steal the ooze from TGRI. It's fucking crazy.
You don't need to look around the corner to see if the computer's in there. You stick your head in the room and you know if it's a computer room or not. You know what I mean?
You can probably smell it as you approach because of all the fucking like the hot electrical items fucking buzzing all over the place.
Pointless searching. But yeah, she gets cornered.
She screams, he hauls ass off to go help her, and the robot just like flamenco dances toward her.
Yeah.
With his arms in the air doing that little crab pinch move.
Right.
It takes forever to get to her, though, and Ferdy's got time to run in and shoot this thing point blank in the laser eye panel.
Which actually works.
Yeah.
It's the first shot that works.
This thing starts rolling around yelling,
Laser malfunction, detain intruder.
But yeah, this is what they fucking needed to do from the beginning, because everybody's a terrible shot. Just run up to that fucking thing.
Right.
Its lasers don't seem to be doing a whole lot, except in very specific instances. But this thing comes after Ferdy, and he continues to fire at it another 5 times until he just runs out of ammo. And it tells him, stop right there, and he just throws his gun at it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it when that happens in movies.
Pretty good aim for this one, though. Hit it like right in the fucking head.
I mean, at least keep it so then you got a fucking little club to pistol whip shit with.
Right.
But then he grabs this big tank off the wall and throws that at the robot.
Fire extinguisher.
Oh, is it a fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't red, so it didn't fucking register to me, I guess.
Yeah, it backfires. The robot throws it back at him, and it hits him in the fucking chest, dude. He just goes down.
Knocks the wind out of him. Poor Ferdy goes to the ground.
Well, it looks like he's dead. He's got blood coming out of the back of his head.
Well, fucking Protector 1 rolls up to check on his handiwork and make sure he's dead, and he sees a puddle of blood coming out the back of his head. So he delivers his patented "thank you, have a nice day."
Right.
And Allison only has a second to react to her new boyfriend's death, because this robot ain't here to play. It turns its attention toward its final victim, and she's got to beat feet the hell out of there. It looks like she's starting to cramp up, though. She's holding her belly a little bit while she's running.
It's from where, didn't she get shot earlier?
She got shot in the arm.
Oh, okay.
But the score is pretty sweet right here. It's like a more emotional, final, desperate run to the end. Well, we just get some shots of her running for a minute, the robot's chasing, and finally she just smashes a window into a pet store. She runs down... A pet store? Oh, whoa. I suddenly do not like the turn this is taking. Please don't have your final showdown in a pet store with all these poor animals trapped in cages. Don't do that. For real, though, why did she choose that to break into? Did she just want a little creature comfort before the end, or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Grab
That's
a little fluffy puppy out of the fucking cage and pet it until the fucking robot kills you?
Yeah, she decided to break in here and hide. I don't know.
Maybe it was a thing where she thought the activity of all the other animals would kind of mask her in there.
Right.
Either way, Protector 1 sees the damage she created with that window and bulldozes his way inside. Allison just crawls under a shelf and hides herself with a bag of dog food. Bitch, it was nice knowing you. What the fuck are you thinking? And of course, robot in a pet store equals bull in a china shop. He's knocking over all kinds of terrariums, and I think on purpose, because at first when they fall down, I couldn't see what was in them, but my immediate thought was,
spiders.
Shit, if there's spiders and snakes in these things, maybe he's trying to flush her out. And he rolls over right next to her, but somehow still can't see her under the shelf. And look at that. Just like I said, both snakes and spiders are crawling, slithering all over the floor. And luckily the snake is already interested in a target. He's just attacking one of these tarantulas. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy here because you can tell all the animals are real. And then after they're crawling on her for a minute, when she gets out, they're all fake.
Oh, I didn't notice that part.
I've seen the spiders like fall off of her when she crawled out from underneath the bench, and they weren't moving because they weren't real.
Gotcha. I didn't catch that.
I think they were real at first, though.
Well, somehow she keeps her cool while she's got 2 giant fucking tarantulas and a snake crawling all over her, long enough for the robot to give up and leave the store. But funny enough, I was watching this on Tubi, and this was the moment that it picked to put in an ad. Guess which ad?
What ad?
Yep, nailed it. PetSmart.
Yeah. Nice.
She crawls out from under the shelf and gets scared by a cat jumping out at her, I guess, which causes her to scream, of course, and the robot is onto her again, goddammit.
Right. Which kind of makes this entire scene slightly pointless.
Yeah, she just gets it away just enough to leave the pet store again. Well, it sounds like you should have just kept running in the first place.
Exactly.
Now all you did was fuck up the pet store, which, when she runs back out of, we get a very intentional shot of the sign of this place. And it's called Roger's Little Shop of Pets, which of course is hilarious because Roger Corman directed the 1960 Little Shop of Horrors.
Right. Oh, okay.
And the robot is on her ass right away, of course. She stops at a railing and looks over the side. And by the time the robot catches up to her, it can't find her because she just decided to hang over the side until it leaves.
Right.
Jesus Christ, lady, you better hope your arm strength is up to snuff. He hangs out there for a good long while, too. And I'm wondering the whole time, why doesn't she use that ledge right underneath her to her advantage?
Right.
She's got, all she's got to do is put her feet up, and then she can even lower her hands down to the level below it so that they're less visible. Fucking hang out there all night, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But she starts to lose her grip, and luckily there's a big canopy under her, but that's also when she discovers the ledge I was talking about and starts to use it. But she does, in fact, lose her grip. She goes crashing down. Thankfully, though, she does fall through the canopy to break her fall a little bit. And even though it does still knock the wind out of her, and she seems to have a hurt leg, she kind of gets up and army crawls toward a paint store, digging that road flare from earlier out of her bra.
Yeah, the tit flare. Don't forget about the tit flare.
Tit flare! Woo!
Yeah.
She's ready to go to hell with this robot tonight, I think, dude. She's going to pull a Loomis. She uses a clever technique to break through the glass door of this place, too. She, lifts her sweater to pad her arms a little bit more and then just kind of bull rushes toward it, elbows first.
That would never happen.
No. Especially now with this big-ass plate glass window. I mean, it could either work out great or cut into that fucking artery in your arm, in which case, at least you'd go out fast.
Right.
And Allison gets to work, boy. She grabs a screwdriver and starts popping cans of paint and paint thinner and just tossing them all over everything. It's got to smell crazy in there. She's got to be careful. If she stays in too long, she'll get fucking asphyxiated. But she yells out, "Come on, you little bastard." Oh, there's another one. Add that to the list. And finally, the little bastard does indeed come on, right through the glass wall, in fact, and starts spinning out on the oil slick she's created for its tank treads.
Mm-hmm.
And she limps out of the store, actually slipping on all the paint. That happened IRL. And she gets out, turns around, and yells to get its attention because she can't just get the goddamn job done. She needs this thing to know it's about to die.
Right. She yells, "Have a nice day."
Yeah. The robot tries to come toward her, but its treads are just spinning as Allison delivers its own catchphrase back to it. "Hey, have a nice day." And they put a little delay effect on her voice, so it's, "Have a nice day, day. She lights the flare, throws it into the store, and the whole place explodes. I wonder what the total is now on what she owes this mall.
That's what I was going to say. The mall is totally fucked, man.
Yeah, dude.
And this explosion, blew her off her feet, you know?
Yeah. I also would love a cutscene here to her dad who's just snoring in bed as all this is happening. The aftermath of this explosion is fucking harrowing, dude. It does look for a second like the robot's lights are still on, but I think that's just a reflection of the flames.
Mm-hmm.
But one of his arms is laying way on the outside of the store next to Allison, so she gets up and limps away, and that's when Ferdy yells out to her, conveniently standing on the stairs looking down. He's holding an entire roll of toilet paper to the back of his head. It's such a great touch, dude. And he just says, "Hey, nice shot." Ha 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 ha, yes!
Nice.
Way
Nice.
to bring it back a third time. They both laugh and run to each other, and the movie ends with them just standing there holding on to each other in the atrium with all the pretty flags above them, and now we see it's daylight once again. We do some sitcom-style credits with a quick shot of each person along with their name, and besides a post-credit scene where one of the protectors again says, "Thank you, have a nice day," we're out of here, man. What'd you think?
Dude, I like this ending with the characters and their real names on it. Because we get the head explosion.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking love it. Dude, I loved this movie.
Yeah.
I loved this. There's nothing to change about it. I think everything was done well. It's a perfect example of what an 80s horror should be.
I think so.
And what it was fucking perfect. What would you normally ask for? More boobs? No, there's plenty of boobs. Plenty of fucking. It's great. 8 out of 10, man.
I love that that's still your only criteria for judging these fucking movies. There's so many boobs. Dig the boobs. There's fucking.
We're good.
Good. We're good. What else do you need? Right there. We're done.
Yeah, it's great. Great effects. Everything, the score, everything. It's just fantastic.
I don't know if I'm convinced about great effects. This movie wasn't received super great. And even now, it's only got a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Even after it kind of gained traction as a cult, a cult classic. But there was virtually no budget. This bombed at the box office. It was originally titled Killbots, but it was test screened and not really well received. So they chopped off 19 minutes of this bad boy, retitled it Chopping Mall. But even then, it wasn't until after the home release that this started to gain traction, like I said. Come on, guys, it's killer robots in a mall. It has Barbara Crampton in it. What more do you need?
That's what I'm saying. It's perfect.
Critics panned it for its themes of human consumption and excess during the Reagan era, and it's been compared to George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which had similarly anti-capitalist themes.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently in November 2011, Dry County Entertainment acquired the rights to this thing and wanted to remake it with a more supernatural element. They even got a producer and a director on the project, but said director Robert Hall passed away in 2021, and at this point, nothing further has progressed with that. We'll probably never see it, but that's fine. We have this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Personally, I had a fucking blast with this movie, dude. I think regardless of the budget, it's still competently shot enough Like, there's a lot of good work going on in the framing and the use of camera tricks here and there, i.e. the escalator shot and that fun robot shadow thing. Unfortunately, due to the budget, there are also moments when you're like, oh shit, whose toddler is holding this camera? It's fucking bigger than they are. And oh shit, did they kill the robot or not because they fucking cut away too fast? Like, there's certain things in that, due to the low budget, that kind of pull it back a little bit. But even so, it looks great as a gritty old 80s slasher flick, you know? Like, the patina on the film hammers the nostalgia home, along with the score, which I think absolutely fucking slaps in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything you want from an old 80s synth score, and it crescendos and decrescendos at all the right moments. Can't knock that at all. The story itself is silly as shit, but that's what makes it fun, man. Plus, it's not so far-fetched in 2025, maybe, the way things are going.
Right.
I'm sure it was in 86, but now we've got self-driving cars and all the AI applications these days. But I also think it's due in large part to, you know, that's what you get when the script is banged out in a week or two. We've got a good mixture of character archetypes here, though, although some of the choices are ridiculous, but that's also what you get in all of horror. Mm-hmm. As much as I hate to see people doing dumb shit in these movies, that's kind of what we're here for. The gore is fine. It's not Savini, but it's doing its thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's got boobies, so it's a 10 out of 10 for Jason. Of course, looming over this whole production was Roger Corman's shadow, who is famous for producing sleaze, so of course, tons of boobs. I think the setting and the aesthetic is what really does it for me, though. We're in a mall in 1986 at the height of the decade that was the 1980s, and every character is steeped in it. I love these big open spaces, especially once the place clears out and it's all dark and spooky with a threat that we know is looming. I don't know what it is, but I love that shit. And at the end of the day, this movie knows what it is, too. It's not trying to be a masterpiece that blows you away with its writing and performances. For example, I love Barbara Crampton in almost everything. Not so much with this. But she wasn't there to be our leading lady. She was there to be the crazy chick that almost gets everyone killed, you know?
Right.
Which she does. But she's not winning any Oscars for this either. We're just having a great time at the movies in 1986 with this silly movie about killer robots in the mall, which, oh my God, we're in one of those right now when you're watching the movie, you know? That's what the vibe should have been. But however, even though that's what was intended, this is a movie that didn't do so well in its theatrical release and didn't get any love until, you know, the cult following that it's got now. But once it got that, I think it absolutely deserved it. I loved every second of this dumbass movie, and I think if you haven't seen it, you probably will too. I give this one 9 out of 10 propane tanks.
Fuck yeah.
I would say this movie is currently streaming on Tubi. That's where I watched it, and you can definitely check it out there. But this is also one that I plan on adding to my collection. I would encourage you to do the same as well. This is a great one to toss on just to get those summer slasher vibes. So stop whatever you're doing. Get this one on the TV right away. But until next time, that's going to wrap us up, everybody. Thanks for listening. We had a good time. We hope you did too. And as always, remember, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Boy. Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Cenobites Podcast. If you like what you heard, follow us on our socials at Cenobites Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way in helping us reach more listeners.
You can stream the Cenobites on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more popular streaming platforms and YouTube.
Questions or comments? Suggestions for future episodes? Contact us at cenobitespod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show and help us make it a better product for you, subscribe at cenobitespod.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, keep following those nightmares.
Thank you. Have a nice day.